Hello, I'm Gino. Welcome to Dazzle TV. It's 9:45 a.m. here in Numancia, Aklan in the Philippines. I wanted to start this video outside so you can see how bright and sunny it is today. It is just bright and sunny this morning, and it's not even hot. It's actually breezy with nice cool air this morning. Definitely November weather here in our area in Western Visayas in the Philippines. Today, my topic is inflation in the Philippines. I get a lot of questions regarding how inflation is in the Philippines and if it's affecting us here in the province. For us, what I've seen just the last 4 years, we haven't really been affected by inflation here in Aklan province. Maybe in the cities in the Philippines, they've had a rise in the cost of housing. But here in our province of Aklan, I just haven't seen that. I haven't seen increase in the housing here in Aklan. The apartment where Dazzle and I used to stay in Calibo, it used to be called the Carillo Snyder Apartments. We lived there from 2012 to 2016, and our rent for that apartment during that time was 7,000 pesos. And in November of 2020, that apartment's rent was only 8,000 pesos, an increase of 1,000 pesos or $18 a month. And I just recently checked, the rent is still 8,000 pesos now in November of 2024. So the last 4 years, that apartment has not increased in price for rent. And I've seen that with a lot of apartments because people are always asking me for help to find them a place in Calibo. And when I look at apartments in Calibo, I haven't seen a difference in the prices of housing in Calibo the last 4 years. One of the things that helps us out as dollar earners here in the Philippines is the strong dollar. I just looked online this morning and $1 is now 59 pesos. That is a high exchange rate here in the Philippines for US dollars. Very rare do you see the dollar reach 59 pesos per dollar. In November of 2020, the exchange rate for $1 was 48.29 pesos. That's an increase of 10.71 pesos per dollar. That is huge for Dazzle and I because on our $1,000 a month budget, that gives us another 10,700 pesos a month. That is about $180 a month extra for us because the US dollar has gotten stronger the last 4 years here in the Philippines. It also benefits a lot of Filipinos that live here in the Philippines because there are a lot of Filipinos here where their husbands or their wives work as an overseas Filipino workers all over the world. And they send their US dollars here to the Philippines to support their families. There are many families like that here at Camellia Aklan, where Dazzle and I live. A lot rely on the overseas Filipino workers sending them money here in the Philippines. Also, this time of the year, a lot of Americans and Canadians and people overseas send money to their relatives here in the Philippines as remittance because it's the holidays and they just want to share their blessing to their Filipino relatives here in the Philippines. And that strong US dollar, the big exchange rate, that just gives the Filipinos here in the Philippines more money to have during the holidays. The Philippines is not the only place where the dollar is strong right now. Even in Japan, the dollar is strong. So many people are able to take vacations now in Japan. Unlike 20 years ago, when the yen was very strong and it was expensive to go to Japan. Countries like Mexico, Argentina, Vietnam, Cambodia, the US dollar is very strong in those countries. The strong dollar helps us with inflation in the Philippines. We don't really feel inflation here in Aklan province. Our mortgage has remained under $200 a month. Our mortgage has been the same since November 2020 and November 2024. Makes it easy to budget because our housing is our biggest expense here in Aklan province. And right now, with the current exchange rate, our mortgage is $194 a month for our 2-bedroom, 1-bath home here in Camellia Homes, Aklan. Recently, I've had a lot of foreigners contact me because they're really interested about coming to Kalibo. One thing I have to say about housing in Kalibo, it's just lacking what foreigners are looking for. Because a lot of foreigners are looking for 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or even a house that's fully furnished. They just don't have furnished apartments and furnished houses in Aklan province. And I think the reason for that is more and more people are using their furnished housing as Airbnb because they can charge more daily, weekly, and monthly, functioning as an Airbnb. I know most people that contact me, they want to rent a place month to month that is furnished. And that is difficult to find here in Kalibo. We just don't have the housing like in Dumaguete City or Iloilo City where you have furnished apartments or even condominiums. We just don't have any condominiums in Kalibo because Kalibo is still a town. It's not a city. That's probably why the housing is cheaper in Kalibo because it's not a city yet. But I do know they are building more apartments, more hotels, just more infrastructure in Kalibo. There is still a low number of expats living in Kalibo. Most of the expats in Aklan province, they live in Boracay Island. Another thing that helps us with inflation is our property insurance in this 2-bedroom, 1-bath house has remained low since Dazzle and I moved here in 2016. Our yearly property insurance for this house is only about $100 a year. I hear from my friends in the United States that property insurance just keeps going up yearly for them. That just hasn't happened to Dazzle and I since we moved here in 2016. It has remained about $100 a year for our property insurance. And again, the same for our mortgage. Our mortgage since we moved here in 2016 has remained below $200 on our 15-year loan on this house. And now we only have about 6 years left on our mortgage of around $200 a month. And this house will be free and clear for us. No more mortgage. Even our homeowners association fee, because we have to pay HOA here. When we moved here in 2016, our HOA was 600 pesos a month. They even lowered that HOA around 2020, and it went down to 400 pesos a month or $7 a month. We currently pay the same 400 pesos a month for our HOA. So $7 for our homeowners association fee. We live below our means, our budget, $1,000 a month. So right now that budget is at 59,000 pesos. So we can save part of my pension, my military pension every month. It is not difficult for Dazzle, Leanna, and I to stay within our $1,000 a month budget. As you can see on our videos, we are able to eat out at least once a week to McDonald's, to Jollibee, cafes in Calibo, or even the seafood restaurant in New Washington, Aklan. And we have learned to do things that don't cost a lot of money, like fishing, going to the beach, going to our plaza in the afternoon to watch the sunset, walking our dogs. We just have a lot of activities that we enjoy and doesn't cost much to do. Another thing that helps us fight inflation is our car insurance. Our car insurance actually decreases every year. I know that's unheard of because when I lived in the United States, my car insurance never went down. It always went up every year or stayed the same. Here in the Philippines, the reason why your car insurance goes down, the insurance on your car is based on the value of your car. So each year, they depreciate the value of your car. Like our 2019 Toyota Wigo, they only valued it at 375,000 pesos on my last car insurance renewal. And in December, I have to renew my car insurance again for full coverage. And I know they will depreciate our car again. So more likely, they will only value our car probably around 325,000 pesos instead of 375,000 pesos. So I will see a dip in the price of my yearly car insurance. That's how insurance works here in the Philippines. Gasoline costs for our vehicle. In November 2020, gasoline was more expensive than it is now. Now that it's November 2024, gasoline is actually cheaper. For our budget, it helps because gasoline has actually lowered in price now compared to November of 2020. As far as fruits and vegetables, I think that's where we save money here in Aklan province. Because when we go buy our fruits and vegetables, like at the public market or the fruit stands, we really get some good deals on fruits and vegetables. We never buy our fruits and vegetables at the groceries in Calibo. They just cost more there. We like supporting the local farmers in Aklan province. We love going to the farmers markets like in Calibo or in our small town of Numancia because you really get good deals on fruits and vegetables. Our meat products, that's where we go to the grocery in Calibo, like for pork, chicken, and beef. We buy our pork, chicken, or beef mostly in the groceries in Calibo because we just find the quality is better for meat products at the grocery in Calibo instead of the public market. The strong dollar really helps us fight inflation here in the Philippines. The extra pesos we get because of the high exchange really helps. The exchange rate from November 2020 at about 48 pesos to the dollar. And now that it's November 2024, 4 years later, and it's now 59 pesos per dollar, gives us over 10,000 pesos a month, or close to $200 a month. That increase actually pays for our mortgage here at Camellia Aklan. Thank you for your continued support of our channel. Dazzle, Leanna, and we truly appreciate your support. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you in our next video.